Welcome to Neon Nightmares, Haunted Campus, where the shadows of Whitebridge's past stir once more. Wildwood University's annual Halloween festival is in full swing, but this year, something darker lurks beneath the surface. Unexplained fires, strange possessions, and ancient forces long forgotten are beginning to rise. The air is thick with tension, and those attuned to the supernatural can feel the shift. These silent secrets are about to unravel, and tonight, the nightmares are real. So lock your doors, light your lanterns, and prepare yourself. This is Neon Nightmares, and the haunting has only just begun. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Halloween special, Neon Nightmares. This year, titled Haunted Campus. Tonight, we are headed to Whitebridge, Washington, a quaint little town with a small, prestigious university called Wildwood. Now, while Jacobsville was dealing with the chaos from Calamity, yeah, you remember, the literal embodiment of darkness across the country, it's Halloween night here too. The 1980s are alive in Washington, neon lights and all, but something is brewing beneath the surface. These three teens in Whitebridge are about to get caught up in some supernatural drama of their own, and trust me, this night is going to be anything but ordinary. So grab your Walkman, throw on your favorite leather jacket, and let's dive into the madness. Tonight's episode will be featuring three voices that you know very well, and a potentially new voice for some of you, and I'm really excited for you to see all of the drama that we get into. So without further ado, welcome to Neon Nightmares, Haunted Campus. All right. Hello, everyone. Hi.
Ooh, spooky.
Welcome to this year's version of Neon Nightmares. And you all don't even know the title yet. I didn't even tell you what my little subtitle is.
There's a subtitle?
Oh yeah, there's a subtitle, Zach, and we're going to get there. But first, I want to introduce all of our listeners to my incredible players today. So you already heard his voice because he's here and he's speaking. So let's start with you. Our first player of the evening is none other than the MC of these Silent Secrets, Zach of Zach and Griffin's Multiversal Pet Shop, and Zephyr from Another Path, the first couple seasons. And he's here, and he's ready to be a monster. It's Taylor Tuttle!
That's me! Hi, everyone. Taylor Tuttle, he, him. I do all the things that Nicole said, and I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. And tell us what skin you're playing today. You don't have to describe your character yet. We'll do that but just tell us what skin.
League. I will be playing the vampire.
Incredible. 10 out of 10 Halloween monster. Awesome. Next up, you will recognize this voice from The Silent Secrets as well. This person plays Isla Frickin' Hart. And, yes, Isla Frickin' Hart.
Isla middle name Frickin'?
Well, she probably didn't have one yet, right? So she just, saw it on a billboard once and said, yeah.
Might as well.
But anyway, please join me in welcoming the awesome Mariah Clawson.
Hello, it's me.
And Mariah, what skin are you going to be playing for us today?
The ghost.
And last but certainly not least, you might recognize this voice from another incredible show that we talk about all the time, Queer PG. This creator is one of my favorite creators out there. So please join me in welcoming Kenzie.
Hello. Thank you. That was a wonderful introduction.
Kenzie, tell us what skin you're going to be playing today.
Yeah, I'm going to be playing the Beast.
Beast. Mr.
Incredible.
Beast.
At the end of our show today, I'm going to give everybody a chance to kind of plug some of the cool things they're doing. So make sure you stick around to at the end here where everybody can talk about all the awesome stuff they're doing and all the cool things that they're a part of because they're all so cool. But I think without further ado, I think we're ready for Neon Nightmares. What do you guys think?
Let's go!
I'm ready.
Let's do this. Welcome to the picturesque town of Whitebridge, Washington, a seemingly quaint and charming community nestled in the heart of Pacific Northwest. Known for its leafy streets lined with historic homes, cozy cafes, and under a constant cover of mist and clouds, Whitebridge exudes small-town warmth that feels straight out of a storybook. At the heart of this idyllic town stands Wildwood University, a prestigious institution with a legacy of academic excellence and a rich history that dates back over a century. Every Halloween, Wildwood University transforms into a sprawling, campus-wide haunted house, turning the entire institution into a nightmarish maze of scares, surprises, and spine-chilling encounters. The event is a long-standing tradition that has grown over the years, drawing not only students but curious visitors from the town of Whitebridge and beyond. The university's Gothic architecture and dense, fog-shrouded woods make it the perfect setting for this elaborate and immersive experience. But this year, there's a dark cloud hanging over the festivities. In the wee hours of the morning of Halloween 1987, 3 separate fires broke out in various locations around Whitebridge, each blaze igniting within hours of each other and spanning significant distances across the town. Though authorities have yet to confirm arson, the signs and the rumors are hard to ignore. The fire's origins remain a mystery, and an unsettling shift has permeated the town. Still, the town's elected officials and the dean of Wildwood University expressed intent to move forward with the Haunted Campus Festival. So happy Halloween, Whitebridge, and welcome to Neon Nightmares Haunted Campus. Okay, so we are going to kind of jump in here and kind of get to know our characters and see what they were all doing. We are going to start on Saturday, Halloween, but before that, Friday, October 30th at 4:45 p.m. What were you doing? We'll start with Lewis. And Lewis, kind of describe yourself a little bit here as you are telling us what you were doing Friday, October 30th at 4:45 p.m.
At 4:45 p.m., would we be in the middle of our radio show? I don't know what time radio shows happen.
At any time, like they kind of go whenever. So like,
okay, cool.
Is your music vibe of your show a 4:45 p.m. vibe?
No, but I'm also a creature of the night, so like I've got to be done by like nightfall. So I don't know. We'll say that right now I am. This is a harder thing than I thought it was going to be to decide. Okay, I am. I would say I'm grabbing a coffee, and I have walked out of like the student union into the hellscape that is the setup for this event.
Yeah, and it is extensive. Every year, like they shut down classes for like 3 days leading up to this. They'd go all online for those days just so they can set these up.
Online, it's 87.
Oh yeah, you're right. You're right. They just shut it down. There's no
class.
They just shut down classes for 3 days leading up to this.
I love that.
And all of the amenities are completely overrun by Halloween decor and just prepping for these. You see like line stanchions getting set up outside of different things. The library becomes a haunted library. An entire dorm gets converted into like a haunted maze. Like it is wild, and people are volunteers and employees alike are working hard at getting this ready. So you're walking out of the student union with a coffee.
Yeah, we are. We see Lewis Stills, him. He's about, let's say he's like 6'1", long black hair. His eyes, which I think in life were like a nice solid green, as they shift to like the red of vampirism, kind of usually have like an orangish tint to the green nowadays. Very pierced, very sort of grunge rock aesthetic. Very, what's Eddie Munson sort of aesthetic that,
Love that.
denim vest with a bunch of pins and patches and band logos and stuff. And yeah, he's got a coffee.
Awesome. You're walking out with a coffee into the square area outside of the Union. Awesome. What is Becca doing on Friday, October 30th at 4:45 p.m.?
I think Becca is in City Hall in the offices of her parents, where there is a bunch of activity from people being pulled in direction of a police investigation, and her mom swooping in and being like, well, we're ignoring that because Halloween is tomorrow. So they're kind of in the middle of last minute festival preparations and like safety things and that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're kind of watching this flurry and definitely noticing some of the community's concerns over these fires get swept under the rug to make way for some of these preparations. Absolutely. And Kimmy, what are you doing Friday, October 30th at 4:45 p.m.?
I am finishing my tutoring shift. I have 15 minutes remaining in my tutoring shift at the library. Okay. I tutor math, science, history. The list goes on.
Awesome.
So the whole course catalog.
The whole, yes. And she is kind of just sitting at a desk. There's no one on the other side of her. And her knee is like constantly moving. And she's playing with like a pencil in between her like two fingers and tapping it on the desk. So she's very restless, but is still doing her job.
Okay. Yeah, and you are in the heart of the library, so you are seeing firsthand how these preparations are going for this. The library becomes like the haunted library, and so they have, you see some of the people from like the theater department are in, and they're bringing in like set pieces that they created for this. Like it is a whole ordeal. They are completely blocking off parts of the library already to build in these haunted attractions and these haunted rooms and things like that. And so it is louder than it ever has been in a library before. And that's definitely something different that you're noticing.
Yeah. I think that's where the restlessness kind of comes in. It's like, I want the library that I know, my safe space, my comfort zone back. But I also really want to help make this a haunted library. But I don't know how to approach these people.
Fair. And I realized I forgot this, so we'll come back to you, Becca. But Kimmy, kind of describe yourself a little bit. Tell us what we see when we're looking at you.
Yeah, so Kimmy's hair, I can only describe as a frizzy triangle. It has like the big poofy bangs right in the center of her head, and then it flares out and is cut so bluntly that it is basically an isosceles triangle on her head. Or an equilateral. I don't really know.
You got some Phineas and Ferb hair.
Exactly. And it is strawberry blonde, yet frizzy. She has, the big, huge 80s plastic-rimmed glasses that are a prescription that is so crazy. She should be blind.
Really big?
Yeah.
Are your eyes super huge?
It's just so big. You got the Coke bottle.
Exactly. She has braces that are also very chunky. And she wears a lot of just practical clothing. She has the acid wash high-rise jeans and the white sneakers. But it's like her dad's old hand-me-down button-downs on top, or her mathlete's t-shirt from high school. Just style is not the biggest thing for her. She wants to get to class.
Awesome. And Becca, go ahead and describe to us what we see as we're looking at Becca sitting here in City Hall.
And as the flurry of activity is moving around her and she's trying to figure out where she can jump in and be of service, Becca Clark is 5'9", 5'11" in heels. Looks like she walked off the set of Clueless, so plaid mini skirt, white, kind of pleated-ish blouse, She has dark waves that half is pulled back, so away from her face. Little headband, white headband, and tasteful and small accent jewelry. She has
Awesome.
brown eyes that are warm.
I love it. I love it so much. We have literally the gambit of what you would see in the 80s.
Yo, big time.
Yep.
So
Got
good.
burnout, prep, and nerd, big time.
Oh man, somebody call John Hughes. We have a movie for him.
The Breakfast Club.
Neon Nightmare.
Right? So, all of you, on October 30th, Friday, October 30th, at 4:45 p.m., Lewis walking out of the student union, Kimmy sitting anxiously in a library that doesn't feel like the library she knows, and Becca sitting amongst a flurry of activity, frustrating activity at the city hall. You all feel something. A shift, almost imperceivable, something that you haven't really felt before, but it feels like it taps into a part of you that is unexplained. And you feel something change. The way that the air moves around you is different now. You feel a pit in your stomach get deeper. And those of you that are well aware of your supernatural connection can tell that that is the place where this is coming from. Those of you that maybe haven't made that connection yet, or haven't explored that part of you yet, you can feel that it is a part that isn't tied to what you would consider humanity. It's a moment. Brief. Fleeting. But something has changed. Something has begun. And that is the feeling you get on Friday, October 30th at 4:45 p.m. And now we're going to move to Saturday.
What?
We'll get there.
No!
Saturday, the day of the Haunted Campus Fest. It starts kind of bright and early. They have daytime activities for the kids. Some of the inside things are open and going all day. So it is a full day affair. But the three of you have a show that you have already planned. You have a 10 a.m. show for your radio station that was requested by your educational advisor, and basically said, hey, campus wants you to put your show on at 10 a.m. to kind of kick off the haunted campus. And so the three of you are headed to your radio station where you have a show together. What do we do on the way there? Lewis, what do you do on your way to this? What's your mornings look like?
I think Lewis drinks so much coffee, dude. I think it's just enough. I think he at least stops in and drinks 4 to 6 cups of coffee a day. He's
Dang.
in and out constantly.
Okay.
I think even though he's a vampire and doesn't sleep because of it, I think he still feels tired. So I think he often is caffeinating himself.
Yeah.
So yeah, is stumbling out of the line with his coffee in hand again.
Are you? Let me ask you a question. Do you only buy, or do you make your own at any point? Are you?
I think I'm bougie. I think I buy.
Wow.
I've had
Where
60
does Lewis
years
get his money? We're getting off track, but I need to know. I know it's the 80s. Things are different.
I mean,
but-
I'm assuming working at a radio station, he gets kind of pocket change, but he's also
Okay.
he was also got turned in the 20s.
Yeah.
So I think in that way that all nigh immortal beings, they've just found ways
Accrued
to
wealth.
to accrue a little bit of wealth here and there.
Yeah.
I also have the move hypnotic, so if I haven't charmed someone into leaving me their estate at some point in the last 60 years, I'd be very surprised.
Valid.
And so yeah, I'm no slouch. And
Okay.
so yeah, I'll get a nice cup of coffee. And
I love that. Yeah, so you're stumbling out of the on-campus coffee shop, and you have a cup in your hand, and your reflexes are pretty good because of who you are. So you can tell that somebody's about to run into you far before it actually happens, and you manage to get out of the way, and you see Emily Hargrove
Oh.
She
The
is
hottest girl on campus.
the hottest girl on campus. She's
The
got that.
hottest girl on
I just saw her photo. That's why I said that.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
saw the picture.
She's got that kind of like sexy, messy librarian, like very like Evie from The Mummy kind of vibes.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. And she is looking directly down. She has a notebook in her hand and she is scribbling notes and nearly runs into you.
I think I just stand there and let her run into me.
Okay.
I make sure like I grip my coffee nice and good so I don't lose it.
Okay.
But yeah, I think I literally just stand there and let her just bump into me.
Yeah, absolutely. So you collide. Well, she collides into you. And she kind of stumbles back and she's like, I'm so sorry. I did not mean to. And she locks eyes with you. Goes, never mind. Yeah, totally meant to do that.
Hey, good morning. How are we?
Well, I was fine. Yeah. No, everything's fine. How are you, Lewis?
You were fine. You ran into me, you know.
Yeah, and I'm just starting to think, wow, my luck today. Anyway, can I go? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to run into you, but like...
No, yeah. I take like, you know, one of those steps where like I slide my foot as it goes back, and I'm like, after you, by all means.
Okay, stop it. Stop. Whatever you do, stop.
Hands up and surrender.
Ugh. You were just so... Anyway, I'm gonna go. Was great. Let's not do this again, okay? I have a story to write. And she kind of brushes past you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is she the news director of the student radio station?
She does mostly print journalism.
The drama.
She probably does help create some stories sometime. Like there's probably some overlap, or maybe she'll write some headlines and some stories and then pass them along to some on-screen talent at the radio station. Yeah. Like you, Lewis, to share during their shows. But she doesn't necessarily have a direct hand in the radio station. But definitely does give you content at times to share during your show, Lewis.
Awesome. Yeah, no, as she's walking away, there's a bit of like, make it hard hitting. And then as she's like gone, I'm like, God, fucking, why are you such a fucking ass?
Yeah, and so she just keeps walking. You know her. You've had some romantic times with Emily Hargrove, so you are well aware of the kind of focus she gets when she is on a story. Mm-hmm. And you can recognize that in her right now. Like you can see that she has something and she's chasing it. Nice. And then you head to the radio station.
I do. Specifically keeping an eye out for Kimmy while I'm doing so.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're walking, keeping an eye out for Kimmy. Let's move over to Kimmy. Kimmy, what do you do in the morning on your way to the radio station?
So it's 10 right now.
A little bit before. Your show's going to start at 10. Yeah. So you've got some.
So I think Kimmy is still in the swing of having a full balanced breakfast in the morning.
Good.
So she has eaten her Wheaties and, meticulously picked out her outfit, but not really. Mm-hmm. It's not stylish at all. And, kind of bounded down the dorm steps. And I think that she has some projects in her backpack she needs to hand back to people. So she might stop into the math science building and hand those back out to the people who so graciously trusted her with their own projects.
Yeah. So since it is a Saturday, this is like kind of a covert mission a little bit. Like classes aren't happening right now. So you meet up with some of your clients, the people that have requested your help. And yet you give them your projects, and you're also getting another kind of inside look at some of the preparations for this festival. Like I said, it starts pretty much right away. Your show is kind of like the kickoff. That's the whole reason they're having you have one. And And so it looks like it's gearing up to get started here very shortly. And you are in the math science building, and you look over and you see a sign that has been constructed and erected in front of one of the big halls, like one of the big lecture halls. And it's painted with like this like really creepy, sprawling, like it's very fun and very, like, you can tell that the scene shop and the theater department had a great time making some of these things. And I'm smiling directly at you, Mariah.
I love scene shop.
And you see it's like the Mad Scientist Lab is what this one's specifically called. And you see the different types of like scientific things bubbling out. So they have like a whole Bunsen burner set like on a table in front of the entrance, and some actors are walking around in lab coats that have been like torn and ripped and sprayed with like blood and other things like that. So that's kind of what you're getting in the math science building as you're getting ready.
And you said that was outside of like a bigger lecture hall?
Yeah.
Could I peek my head into that lecture hall?
Absolutely. Yeah. They're not, like I said, it's not started yet, so they're not really like starting a line. They're trying to keep people out of it, but also you kind of belong in this building. The actors here kind of know you. Honestly, you kind of look like you belong in it right now in the way that you dress. So they're like, oh yeah, it's one of the science zombies or something. And so they just let you kind of walk through, and yeah, you can poke your head in. The lecture hall has looks like it has curtains that have been raised and put all the way through the building, or through the room that you can tell, and it's like a maze. So you would have to go left and through that to get to the other side of the lecture hall. And it looks like it just travels through all the chairs and all of the aisles of this rather large hall. And yeah, you've got a mad scientist maze.
I think Kimmy walks a little bit through the maze, but then will peek her head, like she'll open the curtain and kind of look towards where it's not the mad scientist maze. And if there are any people, like getting ready, like putting on their zombie makeup or kind of getting into costume, she just kind of enters the backstage, and she'll just kind of like go like kind of dead-faced and just watch.
Yeah. There's two people back here right now, and they're helping each other gel up the mad scientist wig that's on one of their heads. So it's like this big white Einstein wig, and they're trying to like dirty it up and just make it look extravagant. And
crazy amounts of hairspray.
So much Aquanet, so much. And so you're just watching that for a couple seconds. But one of them does notice eventually and turns around and goes, hey, you part of the mad scientist crew?
She'll like turn around and like there's no one behind her and go, me?
Yeah, you. Are you working with us today?
Should I be?
What? No, I don't know. Did you get... What department are you from?
I think I'm in the wrong place. And she'll run back out of the maze.
You hear the other one, the one who wasn't talking originally, like you hear a smack and go, that was mean, Dylan.
Okay.
That was mean, Dylan.
As you're running out.
So could I use my move Creep when you silently witness someone in one of their most private moments, perhaps sleeping or putting on makeup, gain a string on them? Can I please have a string on Dylan?
You can have a string on Dylan. Absolutely,
Great.
You can.
God, Dylan.
I love that. And so you kind of sprint out. You like, get out of here. Do you leave the math science building? Mm-hmm. Okay. You kind of run out into the main area, and again, a lot of people are out and about. They're starting to set up tents and vendor things in the middle. Lots of food, lots of activities and things like that. And Lewis, you see Kimmy, but we will come back to that.
Cool.
Becca, what do you do to get ready on your way to the show?
Yeah, Becca doesn't live on campus. She lives in her family's home.
Mm-hmm.
And so she dresses for the day, which is the same thing she was in the day before, except the color of the skirt has changed and the color of the headband has changed.
Amazing.
And she gets in a red Porsche and drives just right up to the front of the radio building and parks right in front of it. Not in a parking spot, just on the side of the road.
Amazing. Amazing. Yeah, so you're heading out. You're about to leave and get into your red Porsche and head to your radio station. And your brother is coming into the house at the same time that you're leaving. And he has looked better. You can tell he's wearing his volunteer firefighter shirt. Obviously his gear is off, but he is covered in soot. And he looks dejected and exhausted. You at this point did kind of, you know a little bit more than the general public would about some of this. But you know that your brother was called on to respond to the 3 fires that were set in Whitebridge last night. And he kind of enters and goes, "Morning, Becca.
You better shower before you sit on the furniture."
I was actually going to go take a nap in your bed, so...
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Hey, do me a favor today. Don't... Just keep your ear to the ground if you hear anything about students trying to, do stupid shit. Just give me a heads up, okay? We gotta stop this.
You think a college student is setting the fires?
I mean, I can't really tell you details of the investigation, but what I can tell you...
Sure, I'll ask Dad later.
Yeah, I know, and he'd fucking tell you. Okay, fine. They look really rudimentary. Like, this is not some genius doing these. So, yeah, I think it might be a student.
I've seen some of the sets for the haunted campus. I don't really think they're up to code.
Yeah, I know. Look, day shift's going to be watching campus like a hawk today, and I'm joining as soon as I can. I need to get a couple hours in me or I'm not going to be able to function.
All right, well, I'm going to be late if I don't leave. She kind of walks near him and sets a hand on his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad you didn't burn to a crisp.
I love you too, Beck.
Holy fuck.
And your brother kind of gives you like an exhausted smirk, like, I get it, and also I need to go to bed or I'm gonna fall over kind of vibe. And he trudges up the stairs. And then, yes, you get in your Porsche.
And then I get in my Porsche and I park on the street. Yes.
Perfect.
Does the license plate say like Clark 3 on it or something?
Yeah, let's say sure. Why not?
Yeah, they just park wherever they want because everyone goes, oh, fuck, it's one of the Clark's cars.
Yeah, they don't need a parking pass. It's just their license plate.
Yeah. That's
Everyone
so good.
knows.
That's so good. But yes, okay, so Lewis, you see Kimmy running out of the math science building.
I just kind of appear next to you, Kimmy. Like I wasn't there a moment ago, and then suddenly, hey, Kims, how's it going?
Lewis, good. Did you have a project that I had to give back to you? And she'll like start to root through her backpack.
No. I was just walking to do the radio show that we're both involved in.
Right.
Are you doing people's homework?
No. Please don't tell my tutoring boss.
I'm not gonna. Why would I tell your tutoring boss?
I don't know.
No, you're good. I pat you like on the shoulder. I was like, you're fine. So listen, how are you feeling? You feeling okay?
I think so. Why?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, nothing. No, I was just curious.
Are you feeling okay?
Just, overwhelmed with Halloween spirit.
That's good. Are you gonna be in any of the haunted houses?
No, I'm good. I might walk around. Who knows?
Are you going with anyone?
No. Emily and I broke up a few weeks ago, so.
Oh. Emily. Right.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that you two were a thing.
It wasn't like official, but it was a thing.
I mean, who broke up with who?
It's complicated.
No, tell me. What happened?
You want the gossip. Gotcha.
Well, that's what I'm here for.
It's just one of those things, it got too serious too fast, and I just had to get out of there. So
totally understand that. I hate when that happens.
I know. Yeah. You strike me as a girl that doesn't like to be tied down. I respect that about you, Kimmy.
Do you like to be tied? What are you going to talk about on your show today?
Depends on how much I've had to drink. We'll see. It's Halloween. Talk about the festivities. I'm sure that Roger, I don't know if there's a manager of the station that Mark. Roger's got some talking points. Mark.
He might be. And it is the 80s.
You know what?
And in Washington.
You might as well make it happen.
If Mark Dantes was somehow...
It's Mark Dantes, 100%.
Is it Mark Dantes?
This is where Mark went to college.
You know what I'm very excited about now? That means that Nicole does have to do the Mark Dantes voice.
Fuck.
Yes. Or maybe just a life of a lot of weed and gambling turned him into that.
Yeah, it really made him a real horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm very excited. Yeah, I'm sure Mark has some talking points.
Right.
Yeah, I do need your help, though.
Of course, I'll help with anything. What do you need?
I enjoy your enthusiasm. So, there's this band. They're up and coming. They're really big. They're going to be huge, I'm telling you. And I've been trying to slip them into the rotation for weeks. And I need you to slip them in. And I hand you a cassette with a sticky note on it that says Nirvana on the front on it. Nirvana. They're brand new. But I can tell they're going to be huge.
And they're just a band. They're not failing math or anything?
No, it's a band. It's just look, Mark's weird about making sure that it's somewhere that music that's in the public zeitgeist or whatever.
You sound just like him.
Thank you. I think it's important to get new voices out there. Nirvana. This guy, Kurt Cobain, he's crazy. He's awesome.
Do you think they're going to be around for a long time?
I think they're going to be around for a long time.
That's great. You could say that you discovered
Nirvana. Yeah. I did look it up. Nirvana did start in 1987.
So good. I love it. So the two of you kind of continue your conversation as you're making it to the radio station. Becca, you get in, and what is your role for the shows? What do you normally do to prepare for them?
Yeah, so I get in and I kind of, if I'm running the first show of the day, I probably set the space up, and then I have a list of the shows for the day and the crew that will be on each show. And so there's a rundown of when, the DJ shows up, they, get in their booth, they set themselves up, I make sure we're on schedule, so the on-air goes on, that sort of thing. So just prepping for when Lewis shows up for his show.
Perfect. Yeah, so you're setting up, and the station manager comes over. I'm so bad at voices, guys. Hold on.
I'm so excited.
Listen, you give it a shot, and then we cut it out if
you're
not
right.
Good.
It's gonna be so bad because
you could just make Zach dub over your lines.
That's fair. I might. I'm so bad at impressions, but here we go. Okay. Miss Clark.
That was so good.
That was pretty good.
That was so good. Keep going.
That was pretty good.
You ready for the day?
Yes.
Good. It's gonna be a good show. I'm excited.
Why am I
You
actually
have-
crying?
You gonna
Do you have?
do the Halloween
like,
stuff
a-
today?
Well, maybe. We're kind of introducing it, my family and I, so I'll be there for that. Do you have like a particular interest in Lewis's show? Like, it's a Saturday. I really know why you're here.
No. I just, I'm actually thinking about branching out. I think this might be my last season here.
Okay.
Sick of the West Coast,
Sure. I'm not, but that's fine. Some people are.
But yeah, I wanted to
Are you giving me a job?
I am. I'm promoting you.
Oh.
Wait, this is my last day, so
No, Brian, notice. He just dips.
You're giving a 19-year-old your job at the radio station?
God, that's so fucking Mark, though.
I don't know if I. Okay. I'm sure we'll figure it out.
you'll be fine. I did want to give you this though, and hands you a packet. And it is things that they wanted you to talk about on the show today. So things for Lewis, and things that you kind of get to go through and disseminate and decide what gets on the air and everything. But in there, you do see a bit of a press release of sorts written by Emily Hartgrove. And it talks about the fires that happened. And very much like as you're kind of reading through it, very vague. There are even fewer answers than the little bit that your brother told you this morning. So even you know more updated information than Emily does. But it talks about the 3 places that it happened at. 1 was residential, 2 were commercial places, like places of business, that were closed because it was the wee hours of the morning. And but that's about all the information. But it talks about that, and it says, basically, like, if you have any information, here's who to call, those kind of things. And kind of as you're reading through that, the other 2 do show up. But yeah, Becca, what do you do with that?
I don't add anything that I learned. I just leave it as it was written by Emily. I do, as I have been doing on every news drop she's given us that Lewis has to read, write a little note on it. This one says specifically, your ex is super hot. And then I slide that paper like under, it's not the top one, so that it's a little surprise when he's reading it on air.
That's so good. But yeah, so Kimmy and Lewis, the 2 of you show up. And here's what the station kind of looks like. It is a part of a campus building, so it is on campus. But it's like on the edge. So it does have like a parking lot that you could park in, or, the sidewalk. You could do that too. And it's connected to some of like the communications classrooms and things like that. And there is also like a little cafe that's in that building. So it's a lot of the communications and like the journalists, but more like the video and radio journalists of sorts are in this building. And so it is a bit of a hub of activity, but then it has its full studio with recording spaces. So there are people kind of milling about as you are getting there, but the 3 of you arrive to do your show.
Oh, what a beautiful morning.
You have a
How we
beautiful singing
doing?
voice.
Oh, stop it, Kim. Stop. Good morning, Becca. How are we?
As I'm even more of your boss now than I was before, I would like you to be here a little bit earlier than 5 minutes before your show starts.
I sit in a chair and then start the radio show. Do I need more than 5 minutes to do that?
For my peace of mind, yes, because I always sit here and wonder if you're going to show up or not. And also I would like
But I always do, though.
But what if you didn't, though?
Well, then probably something would be wrong, and I hope you would contact the authorities.
No, I would have to go on and do your show for you, which I don't want to do.
You're so charismatic, though.
Also, I would like to be able to go through the news points of the day with you, and I can't do that when you're not here early. So here, and I put the little stack into your hands. Read those at some point, I guess.
I sit there and I start reading them.
But just when you get in there, you can read them.
I offer you a stick of gum. I take the note off of the paper. I go, you are too. Let's do this. I tap the papers on a table and head into the booth. Let's have a good show, everybody. Mark, it's good to see you here.
Hello, Mr. Stills.
So good to see you, dude.
I'm leaving today.
I mean, most of us leave every day.
No, I'm leaving. I'm going east.
Dude, I stop everything. I give him just like the biggest hug. Thank you, dude.
We have 90 seconds on the clock, okay?
I know. I'm having a moment here, Miss Clark, my new boss. Mark, you're great. You're so great.
Mark kind of is I'm gonna, and steps to the back. And you see one of the interns of the station, so is kind of basically working underneath all of you, is running around. His name's Logan, little Logan, and he is running around making sure that everything is set. He checks in with all three of you just to see if you need anything as the show is beginning. And he's this cute little redheady. I'm gonna show you. I have a picture. So,
oh, buddy.
Yeah. Literally 5'2".
Logan Archibald.
Always,
little guy.
Has that kind of short cropped red hair, messy, unkempt, thick, I'm trying to think of a reference here. Oh, very Barb from Stranger Things glasses, and complexion as well. Yeah. And is just kind of running around, checking to make sure everything's okay as the show is beginning. Kimmy, is there anything you do before the show starts?
Kimmy runs the board and the switcher. So Kimmy herself is kind of short. So I am picturing that she has to hop into the chair and it spins around.
Good.
And she will adjust her glasses and kind of hunch over the board and be she is lightning lane on this board.
Proficient.
I love that.
And the cassette for Nirvana is in. It's already loaded. It is ready to go. She's perfect at this job.
Yeah.
Becca hops on a roller chair as well and kind of slides up right next to Kimmy, where she spends the show kind of sitting there and watching through the window and directing.
So Kimmy does the beep boop beep boop boop boop, and Becca slides up to her and she goes, and will put her hands in her lap and just stare forward.
I give you the look through the window, we good?
She goes, okay, with her fingers.
Love you.
And she'll beep boop again.
So Kimmy and Becca, you're sitting at the switchboard, and Logan kind of comes up in between you and is just like, hey, I just wanted to let you both know that they are doing construction in the bathroom. I told them that they can't do it during the hours of your show, but if you hear things being moved around, I just wanted you all to know that I'm working on it. I promise. I told them that you would be really upset, Becca, and I know that you told me to use your last name sometimes when people wouldn't listen to me. So I did that. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, have a great show.
Good job. We're gonna have a talk later about, yes, you can use my last name when you need to in these sorts of situations, but also, Logan, hold yourself up and assert yourself more, okay?
Me?
Yes.
Assert me?
Yes. My name only holds so much clout. You do have to act like you know how to use it.
was a great line, Becca. I'm not sure I could ever do that, but you inspire me every day.
I believe in you, Logan. We'll continue to work on it.
And like, he kind of like, he does puff up his chest a little bit. Like, that definitely did something for his ego.
You inspire me every day.
And he kind of steps back to the back of the booth there. And Lewis, you start your show. Tell me how it goes.
Good morning, Whitebridge. You got Lewd Lewis in the morning, and last night the town of Whitebridge was rocked by 3 fires. The brave heroes of the Whitebridge Fire Department have gotten them under control. No new information as to the cause of them has been reported. And I'm assuming, like, I don't know if I've got control for sound effects in the booth, or if that's
I think
like
probably
a thing I have
some.
You probably have like a
the ones you use
programmed-
all the time. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I get like, like some lightning strikes and like the
Becca presses the note up against the window.
your ex-girlfriend's hot. Yeah, I sit there while I'm going. I'm like, it's Halloween season here, and that means that we're all getting very excited for the ever-coveted haunted campus.
And for those of you at home who aren't watching this on video, Lewis did flip off Becca during that.
I did turn around whilst speaking. Did flip off Rebecca. Immediately followed it up with a blown kiss. And yeah, continue the show.
Yeah.
Was there more for we covered the fires, we covered the haunted festival?
There's a couple other like little things that show up that are on your list and things like that.
Yeah, to start off today's lineup, I do want to highlight a brand new band up and coming. This is Nirvana.
Boop. And so you play the song.
This was not cleared with you,
Yeah,
Becca.
I know. I was about to say, Kimmy, I don't believe this was on our checked off list of appropriate music.
Was it?
Hey, Kimmy, do you need to roll to keep your cool?
Yeah. A 6.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, Kimmy, this is, I mean, for all intents and purposes, this is your boss, who did just call you out on doing something that you are not supposed to do in this position that you consider yourself kind of perfect for, which could definitely put in jeopardy your continuation at this position. So however you choose to react is up to you, but you fucked up and you're realizing it here in this moment.
Oh my god, Becca, I'm so sorry. And she'll like go to the next song, eject the cassette tape, toss it in the trash. I swear I didn't do it. It was Lewis.
Oh, I assumed so. If Lewis wants to bring new music, that's allowed. We have to run it through the system of checks first to make sure we can play it. You all know this. I don't know why that's so hard.
Sorry for the abrupt stop in music. My colleagues at the board have seemed to be experiencing technical difficulties.
Kimmy's sinking like so far down in her seat.
Just play another song. One on the list, please.
Hey, sorry.
That's what the Monster Mash.
You play the Monster Mash.
The Monster Mash.
And so Lewis, you have about like a 4-minute period here where music plays and you are
The
off.
Monster Mash plays for 4 minutes.
How long is the
It's a
Monster
remix.
Mash?
I don't know. And
Are you looking it up, Ken?
how long? Monster Mash runtime.
How long is the Monster Mash? It was a Monster Mash.
I don't know. There's like a bunch of different versions of this song.
There are. But Lewis, you're looking at Becca and Kimmy, and they're kind of looking at you, looking through the window. But Lewis, you can see past them, and you see Logan, who is standing at the back of the booth behind Kimmy and Becca here, and he does not look good. Like, even from your spot, you can see like pale and like sunken in cheeks, and like his head's kind of like lolling to one side, and he can barely stand straight.
Yeah, I'm doing like the snap to get attention from the booth. Like, hey, behind you.
Becca turns
Behind
around.
you.
You see Logan then looking horrible, like sickly, deathly sickly, and barely able to stand on his feet.
Becca gets out of her chair and offers it to him. Hey, do you need to go home? Should you not be here today?
And as you kind of speak words to him, his entire body, which was kind of like floating off balance and unable to find like a grounding spot, it kind of stiffens and his head snaps up and his eyes lock with yours. Except you are not seeing Logan's eyes.
What the
They
fuck?
are completely fogged over. Like, almost entirely white.
Can I be moving from the booth out towards the control room?
Monster Mash plays in the background as you...
Yeah. Yeah, I give Kimmy a loop it.
She's watching Logan and like reaches over and pushes it on the board.
And Logan does not respond to your question, Becca, but is locked in with you now.
Who are you?
Becca, that's Logan.
And his head kind of tilts to the side as he looks at you, and then he looks over at you, Kimmy, who just spoke.
She like shrinks back.
And he slowly starts walking towards the door, like to leave.
Maybe he's just getting ready for the party tonight?
Would I be in his way?
No, because your door is coming from the booth, and he's going to leave like the
building.
Yeah. So he's headed out of the because you were in the studio. Then there's like the recording control area, and then there's a door.
Yeah.
You can definitely make it to that room before he's gone, but you're not in his way.
Cool.
But you see him. He is nearly out the door now.
Okay. All right. Well, Logie Bear, what's going on, dude? You good, or?
Do you do anything other than just speak to him?
I'll go up and like grab his shoulder and like try and stop him from leaving.
Okay. As you do that, Logan throws an elbow. And you are going to take a harm.
Damn.
As Logan's elbow finds purchase like right in your face. And he kind of throws you off. And he turns back around to all of you. And you see him reaching into his pocket. And slowly he pulls out a book of matches.
That's not really funny, Logan.
Can I snatch that?
Go ahead and roll to lash out physically. Let's see if you can get them from him.
Awesome. I do have the move Love Conquers All from the Cupid that lets me use hot instead of volatile to lash out physically.
Love that.
So I get to roll with my hot score. Ooh, that's boxcars. Starting it off strong. So that's a 14.
Amazing. Yeah, so describe to me how your hotness helps get you get these matches.
I don't know if it's so much my hotness, but it's just the vampiric vibe I give up.
Okay.
I think I move just very fast.
Okay.
It's just a very quick.
Yeah. So you move quicker than Logan can even comprehend. And you manage to get the matches from his hand. And you hear like a growl, like an angry, inhuman growl come from Logan's mouth. And he reaches for the matches again. And he tries to grab them. I'm just going to say, just flat out, you're a vampire. He does not get them. But you do notice that he's moving in a way that doesn't really match with the Logan that you know as an intern of this radio station. But yeah, Becca and Kimmy, you just noticed that.
Becca has moved to the studio phone and is calling her house.
Yeah. It rings 2 times, and you hear, Clark's house. And it's your brother, like, half asleep.
Hey, I know you didn't get the couple hours that you wanted, but I think I know someone involved with the fires, but I don't really know how to explain it.
Where are you? Are you safe? What's going on?
Becca looks over at where Logan is standing. I'm at the studio. Safe is relative.
Okay, just get somewhere safe. I will be there as soon as I can, okay? And you hear, rustling on the other end as he is clearly getting out of bed. Kimmy, anything you're doing as Becca is having that quick phone call?
I think Kimmy is trying to keep the radio show normal so that it's not just playing Monster Mash on loop like it was for a second, but now she's like, okay, I don't want anyone calling into the station or any professor who's listening down the hallway to come in and be like, what's going on, guys? So she's kind of still watching the situation, but is back on board, making sure that music is still playing and ads are still going while everyone is dealing with Logan.
Absolutely. So Lewis, you're kind of having the showdown here with Logan, and he reached out for it again. You hear that growl, and then you see kind of he kind of cracks his neck in a weird way. It's almost like he's not fitting right, and he's trying to find a way to make this fit. And
gross.
You hear low, kind of dark, almost like two-toned voice. A, B, T. Unlock the cage. And he will lash out. Fully goes to tackle you. And he, at this point, fueled by something completely shocking and completely unlike Logan, does get a full success and manages to cause you 1 harm.
Okay.
And you choke up for a second.
Yikes.
So he grabs the matches and strikes one.
I try to grab him around the waist.
Absolutely. Are you looking to restrain or harm?
Restrain.
Okay. Let's still roll to lash out, but we'll kind of do so with that in mind.
That's not good. 5 minus 1. So that's
No.
4.
Okay. Feel free, anybody, Mariah, I forgot to mention this, but feel free to mark experience, because if you do reach 5, you are absolutely welcome to take an advancement in the course of this one shot today. So Becca, you go to reach your hands around Logan to stop him. And it is almost inexplainable, but it's almost like smoke. And he kind of dashes from your area where you think he was. And you end up actually going and grabbing Lewis instead. Because where Logan was tackled him, completely disappears and almost reappears near you, Kimmy. And so Becca, now you're kind of leaning over Lewis, grabbing onto him instead. And
yeah,
Kimmy,
I will pause the terror here to just say I am now prom holding Lewis.
Yep. Yeah, this is important. Mm-hmm. This is an image I need everyone to have. And Kimmy, standing next to you is Logan Archibald, who has been working with you for this entire time that you've been here, but looking completely different. A flaming match in his fingertips, and he drops it on the board. And it takes a moment. There isn't necessarily the most tinder-like of things on the board, but it does slowly start catching onto some of the fabric near the edge and some of the wood framing around it.
It is the 80s.
It is the 80s. And a small fire has started in this recording booth. It is very small at this point, but that is what the three of you see.
No. And I think I'll try to get, across the room, I guess, to the fire extinguisher. Fire extinguisher? Is that really weird? on the other side of the room. So I'll roll to run away.
I love that. Yeah, go ahead.
Is that cold? I always forget.
That is volatile.
Volatile. Perfect.
No way.
5.
Oh my gosh. So Kimmy, you go to rush across the room to where you think that there's a fire extinguisher. They're not very well labeled at this point. It's the 80s. It's there somewhere, but we don't need it out where everyone can find it. We'll put it in the cabinet somewhere. And so you go to run across the room to find it, and you end up tripping over Lewis and Becca, who have kind of become like a bit of a jumble mess in the middle of the floor. So the three of you are now a jumbled mess in the middle of the floor as the fire grows in the recording booth. What do you
I'm
do?
going to take my jacket off and try to smother
Okay.
flames.
Has Logan left?
Not yet. No. And honestly, if you take a second to look, now that the fire has been set, Logan doesn't seem hostile anymore. Just is sitting there watching the flames.
I try to, this time, pull him away but from the flames.
And he doesn't fight you on it. He lets you.
I kind of push him out of the studio room to get as far from it as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And he definitely doesn't. He gets a little, you can see, he kind of arches his head to kind of keep an eye on the fire as you kind of push him out the doorway, but he doesn't fight back. Lewis, I would love for you to roll to keep your cool for me.
Cool. Can do.
As you are trying to pat out this fire that is growing by the second.
Yeah, that is 9, 8 plus 1.
Okay, so you manage to stay close to the flame, but even in your deadened state, even in this second life that you have, fire hurts.
Yeah.
And you feel it licking at your arms and your fingertips as you are getting close to it, and you feel it on your face. And if you stay here much longer, the damage might even be permanent for who you are now. You have better healing than humans.
Yeah.
But scars are scars, and vampires can get scarred.
Have I managed to put it out at all, or
You
no?
have definitely kept it from growing, but it is not out.
Cool. So my jacket's probably toast.
Oh, 100%. You what jacket?
Sick.
Yeah. So, Kimmy, you see Lewis has kind of stopped the growth of the fire, but it is still about the size it was. And Becca has pushed Logan out of the room.
Since I had my embarrassing moment, could I say that I scramble up from the floor and shakily go to the cabinet that has the
Yes.
fire
Absolutely.
extinguisher? I forgot what it was at first. So she grabs it and just yells, "Move!" to Lewis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lewis, do you get out
I'll
of the way?
I'll step out of the way. Yeah.
And Kimmy, you
He's
just
locked and loaded.
Kimmy goes ham with the fire extinguisher. And yeah, you manage to put the fire out. Lewis kind of slowing its spread and Kimmy getting to the extinguisher quick enough. The fire does eventually die. And about that point, Becca, you're out in the hallway with Logan, who is just watching, and those eyes are still clouded. And you see your brother sprinting down the hallway, having finally made it.
By himself?
By himself. He's not in his garb or anything. It looks like he literally rolled out of bed to get here. Whoa. What the hell? What happened? There's smoke in the hallway.
Yeah, Becca kind of looks behind to check on the fire being put out.
Yeah.
We took care of it. It's okay. She kind of looks at Logan.
Mm-hmm. Logan's eyes...
I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah, Logan's eyes have slowly started unclouding as you are watching him. dissipating like mist and slowly returning that normal shade that you know. Your brother kind of steps past you and it's just like, give me a second, don't let him leave.
Okay.
And he goes to take care of the room. So Kimmy, Lewis, he basically kicks you out, saying like, great job, but kicks you out into the hallway. And so it's the three of you out in the hallway with Logan as Jake is kind of getting things settled, under control, making sure that everything actually is completely safe there and clear. But yeah, the three of you are out in the hallway now with Logan.
I'm sitting there just like, ow. Just like looking at my hands and forearms like, ow.
Logan, how do you feel?
Sorry, did I like pass out or something?
Or something.
I did not have breakfast this morning, and I know what you're always saying, Kimmy, and that breakfast is like the most important meal of the day, but I was just so excited for this. I don't know, I must have had low blood sugar. I'm so sorry. Did I ruin the show?
Kimmy is pissed. And she comes up to Logan and like gives him a shove. She's like, "What did you do?"
What are you talking about? I'm sorry.
Hey, Kim, can I talk to you over here?
He ruined the board.
Yeah, can I talk to you over there? Yeah, Bex, you want to keep an eye on Logan here for just a moment?
Yeah, Logan, how about you, like, sit down on the floor for a second?
Okay.
Put your head between your legs.
Yeah, okay. And he does, like, fully follows your suggestion, gets into that, like, folded fetal position there. And, he does not, in this way, like, look or seem to be any sort of run risk right now.
Yeah. Pull Kimmy to the side, like, maybe just, like, around a corner. Okay. Time for a come to Jesus moment. So I know.
Know what?
I know?
Shh, you know I have a crush on Becca. Don't tell her, please.
No, that's not what I'm talking... Okay, I know. I know that you're a little more than meets the eye.
What's that supposed to mean?
I know that you're like... That you're kind of like me? Am I misreading the situation?
I don't really like the music you listen to.
No, okay, that you're, a little beyond the norm in, the supernatural variety of things.
What are you talking about? Just because it's Halloween doesn't mean that everyone's spooky.
Oh, hon, you don't know, do you?
What are you... What?
Okay, I will, like, put my hands on your shoulders. Okay, this is gonna be
nice.
very jarring, and don't make it weird.
Sorry.
Know that I am here if you need me. I don't think that you are fully alive.
That's not funny, Lewis.
Well, I know that because neither am I.
Are we rehearsing for a haunted house tonight?
We're not rehearsing for a haunted house. I'm being deadly serious with you here. Because I need to talk about what just happened. And I need to know that you understand that I'm not discussing a radio play or something.
I'm fine. Like, what do you mean? That
I didn't say you weren't fine. Has anything like sort of bad happened to you at some point? Like really bad, maybe?
My doctor told me not to talk about it.
Odds are that's probably the thing. We don't need to talk about it. But I think at some point you kind of touched past the veil, maybe just a little bit or something. And so you and I kind of... There's a kinship there, so that's cool. Like, I'm here for you and stuff. But in this regard, what just happened? I don't think that was Logan. Like, I know it was Logan, but I don't think it was Logan.
Oh, like he was hypnotized.
Yes, something like that. Or like possessed or something.
I was hypnotized once.
Yeah, I'm well acquainted with the concept, yeah.
She made me talk like a chicken.
That's unfortunate. Sorry to drop all that on you. I don't know what to do for Logan because I don't think this is his fault. But he is probably going to go to jail for a very long time because of this.
Are we gonna have to testify?
Probably.
Oh, I don't want to do that.
Well, all I'm saying is I think that he is innocent. And so, like, maybe don't punch him or something. Unless he kind of freaks out again and starts throwing elbows, because that fucking hurt.
Okay, sorry.
Hey, you're fine. I get it. That sucked. I hated every moment of that.
What makes you
Do you
think
have a crush
I'm...
on Becca?
No.
Okay. I believe you.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
What makes you think I'm not normal?
There's let's call it an error about you. I only noticed it because I have one too.
It's because we're, not like Becca, right? Not
I have no clue.
popular.
No. That what do you mean? I'm plenty popular. What? Do people not like me?
Do you want to go back to Becca and Logan?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I was just trying to quell violence as much as we could, especially with a firefighter and son of the mayor. Mayor? What does your dad do?
Yeah,
there,
what's
Becca?
the vibe of this town? What's the governance?
Yeah, I would say it's about the size for a mayor.
Okay.
Not two mayors and a
A mayor, like, wanting to be a senator sort of vibe.
Definitely
Yeah.
campaigning for something bigger. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, Becca, you were sitting alone with Logan while your brother kind of clears the space. You start hearing sirens in the distance as they're making their way. But is there anything you do while the other two are off having that conversation?
When I hear the sirens, I turn on my feet and I storm into the studio and I say, Jake, I called you for a reason. I didn't call 911, okay?
Becca, what the hell do you want from me? You told me you weren't
I told you
safe.
that I had and you came and I'm safe and you called backup?
Yeah, I called backup because that's what my training tells me to do, Becca.
I think Becca's clenching her fingers into fists, and she is always trying to stave off anger and just any sort of like heated emotion. And she feels it's not fully working this time, but she has a hang on it for the moment. I called you because I said I think I had information about who might be doing this, and I didn't know how to explain it. So how do you think I'm going to be able to explain it to more of you or the cops if I can't even explain it to you?
Then get out. Go.
So what's going to be your explanation for why you're here in the radio station and no one's around?
I'll figure something out. I'm good at this. Go. Leave
She
the
just
kid.
stares at him. No. Absolutely not.
Yes.
If I'm going, he's going.
Becca. He might know what's been going on here.
He doesn't know anything. I don't know why you can never just take me at my word.
Maybe I see too much of Dad in you. I can't take him at his word either.
She loses hang on the anger. And her lips kind of pull back in a snarl, and her teeth have started to form into fangs, like all of them. And she like starts forward at him at a faster pace than normal, and she grabs him by the front of his shirt, and her fingers are claws now, and they rip through the fabric, and she pulls him really close. You better be fucking careful.
Now I have a question for you, Kenzie the player. Has your brother ever seen something like this before? In any capacity?
I think Yes, not directed at him.
Okay. So you see like a flicker of fear cross his face. And then he kind of takes a breath. Fine, but get the answers you can and then let me know. Okay?
She lets go and gives out like a huff growl and doesn't respond with any words. And turns and unfortunately hasn't lost this, but like tries to like keep her lips shut and her hand shoved in the pockets of a sweater. Let's go.
Logan is just like fetal position on the ground like you kind of instructed, so he doesn't look up at you. But Kimmy and Lewis, again, it's hidden. She's doing a pretty good job of trying to hide that, but there is something slightly different about Becca as she says that. And do you all leave?
Yeah.
Do you
Cool.
get out?
Yeah. Bye, Jakey.
I'm grabbing the kid as we go if no one else does.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, he's very malleable in this moment. Like he just comes with you, does whatever you need him to.
It's Logan. He's malleable.
It's fine. And so the four of you escape the communication building before the fire department makes it in. Where do you go?
Get in the car.
Are we all gonna fit in your tiny ass car?
There's a back seat. And you can see
It's a Porsche.
when she says that, the irritation, you can see her teeth are super sharp.
Yes, ma'am.
So you pile into Becca's Porsche. And Becca, where do you take everyone?
I
sitting in the
just
back
start driving out of campus to the point where I think it becomes super clear to everyone in the car that I don't have a destination.
Why don't you just like pull in the Jack in the Box here, and we'll just have a chat?
Jack in the Box.
She pulls in, stops the car.
Guys, I'm really confused. I don't know what's going on right now. Not that it isn't really cool to be hanging out with you guys. I kind of like fantasize about this all the time, but why is it happening now?
I turn around in my seat and I sort of like, reach a hand back and like I grab his arm and I'm like, you know what? We've been wanting to hang out with you too, but right now, why don't you take a nap? And I'm going to use hypnotic.
Okay. Alrighty.
I know about Kimmy, and now I have a good idea that Becca's got something weird going on, so I'm a little less careful about the shit I'm pulling here. So I roll with hot. I can hypnotize people who have no strings on me. Roll with hot on a 10 up. They do exactly what I wish and have no idea that anything is wrong. On a 7 to 9, the hypnosis works, but I choose one from a list. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
That is a 9, 7 plus 2.
All right, so we have a partial success.
So my list is that they realize exactly what I've done to them. They fuck up my commands, or their sanity is unhinged.
So what do you pick?
You know what? It's Logie. I'll let it. When he wakes up, he'll know that I did something,
Okay.
And that's fine.
Okay, noted. So it's kind of one of those moments where it's just like, wait, what do you want to, and like just passes out.
Okay, so yeah, let's have a very candid conversation. How about that?
Becca's hand comes slamming down onto the steering wheel. Give me a second.
That's not candid. That's aggressive.
And I want to try to... It says you can attempt to keep your cool in order to remove the feral condition, so I'm going to do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
Come on. We failed a lot this game so far. Come on.
Okay, yeah, that is a 11.
Ooh, very good.
Awesome. Yes. So describe maybe what you do to kind of calm yourself if there's a certain trick you have that you've used.
Yeah, it's almost a little bit like guided meditation. So deep breaths, thinking good thoughts, trying to get my heart rate down. And I don't think that Becca has necessarily had a ton of success in this. And so it's a little surprising when it starts to work, but she can feel like where her sharp teeth have like nicked the inside of her cheeks, they start to like go back into flattened teeth, and her fingers go back to normal. She just lets out a slow, deep breath in the car.
The other two,
All right.
the other two of you definitely notice in that kind of moment of silence and calm. Lewis, you said you turned back, so you're sitting in the passenger seat there. So you definitely noticed the fingertips. And Kimmy, you probably noticed that kind of like relaxation in the body as that happens.
I will say a ghost move for me is whenever someone brings to mind your death, you choke up and gain the condition traumatized. So I feel like
Kimmy is traumatized. Yeah, no, that's very valid. So Kimmy, you have your condition traumatized. How is that kind of manifesting in this moment to you?
I am sitting in the back seat next to Logan, obviously uncomfortable. And the knee is going, and she is like picking at a button on her button down. And she's kind of like staring out the window. And I'd like to gaze.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ooh, do it for the gaze.
Do it for the gaze.
Do it for the gaze.
Y'all said that so much last time on Neon Nightmares.
You really did.
Yeah. Okay.
It's going to be merch, and it never happened.
Oh, that is a 10.
A
8 plus 2.
Amazing.
Solid.
What does Kimmy's gaze look like, inward and outward?
So inward, Kimmy is sitting alone in a huge classroom. And there are chalkboards and empty desks and all that stuff. And in front of her is a single piece of paper. And the pencil starts to rise on its own. And on the paper are like mathematical formulas and equations that it writes out. Mm-hmm. But Kimmy interprets those interpretations.
Interprets the interpretations?
Yeah. Kimmy interprets those formulas and equations to get the answer. Like the answer to the equation is the answer to what she's seeking.
Love that.
On the outside, maybe like her prescription gets even worse. So like the eyes get even like a little more magnified.
Yeah.
I love that.
Or, she kind of squints like it's not really working. And she gets, still that anxious anxiety that she has.
Awesome. Yeah. And so what are you asking the Abyss?
What was Lewis talking about? Am I dead?
Am I dead? What a great question to ask the gaze. So you...
And I'll tell you, honey.
So you kind of look out this window of looking the opposite direction of the things that are currently happening in this Porsche. And you find yourself in a wide open classroom. This is a classroom you don't necessarily recognize, but it feels familiar all the same. Like it's a part of you and you are a part of it, but you've never been here before. And you find yourself sitting in the centermost chair. And the chalkboards around you have equations written on them, things that you can immediately recognize. And you look down in front of you and there's a piece of paper. And as the pencil kind of draws itself across it, you are finding the answer in the numbers and the letters and the equations that are written before you. And you see, as the letters kind of shift and change on this paper, and it tells a story. These numbers and letters becoming the words on the page of a story, but only to you. You're the only one who could ever decipher these. And it tells the story of a young woman at a sleepaway camp and how she drowned. And even though she lives on, she is not living. And it tells this story in third person to you. But you can tell that this is the story that Lewis was referring to. This is the kindred spirit that he was calling to. And yeah, you learn that you did, in fact, die.
So I'd like to roll to keep my cool.
That is a valid thing to do.
Yeah. Did you fail?
It's a 6.
Oh my god! You're gonna advance in this game.
I have to take like the most insane move ever. Like Kimmy has to get beefed.
Just take your gang move.
Yeah. You just roll up with a gang.
It's you belong to a haunted house. That's the gang move for a ghost. Is you belong to a haunted house. By the way.
Oh no, I have to work the haunted house.
It's you just become an employee.
Gosh.
Like, hey, you're hired.
Yeah, you advance. You just get handed a name tag.
Like, and you'll put your turn 4.
But yes. So you do not keep your cool in this moment. How does that look to Kimmy?
I think I puke up my Wheaties in Becca's Porsche.
No!
Oh, so good. Becca, Kimmy's
Did you say you were looking
backseat.
at... Oh, you don't have a window. That's right. Yeah, it's the Porsche.
It like comes up from Kimmy's stomach. And you can see her like, whoa.
Don't. Kimmy? Kimmy, don't.
Becca, I'm so sorry.
All right, can I try something? Can I attempt to be a real one? Can I, like a parent, can I attempt to catch the gauntlet in my hands? Just hands in a bowl.
This is the weirdest trio to ever be together.
Yeah, I just need to have a candid conversation and it's not going well.
Kimmy, you start puking. Lewis, you put your hands out for a bowl. Becca, what are you doing in this moment?
I
Killing
turn
us,
around
probably.
in the seat now, so both Lewis and I are like trying to push through the front seat into the tiny little back seat that's back there. Mm-hmm. And I kind of turn around and I put a hand on Kimmy's thigh. And I... like, your knee is going. So, that's exactly why I'm doing it.
Kimmy also O's.
And I kind of like squeeze it and I say, Kimmy, look at me. And I want to use my move Cat's Eyes, which is when you look into someone's eyes and gaze into the abyss on a 10 up, their deepest fear or secret.
Woohoo. All right, let's do it.
Moves on moves. Let's go.
Let's see.
Honestly.
Is that dark? Is gaze into the abyss is dark?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, no, that is an 8 minus 1, so that's a 7.
A 7. Okay. So
I still gaze into the abyss, I just don't add the you learn there.
Right.
Deepest fear or secret.
All right. And so what are you looking for when you look into the abyss? And then describe to me what your gaze looks like.
She's looking for Kimmy's deepest, darkest secret.
I think it's a real silent still. Where like everything from the outside world kind of comes within and I just like hold in place. And it's probably really off-putting on the outside looking at what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to know why it's the three of us.
Absolutely. So you kind of put your hand on Kimmy's thigh and squeeze. And as you are looking into her eyes, everything slows and stills around you, and you feel this supernatural sense of calm, or supernatural sense of preparing, that waiting to strike, that moment of stillness before something. And you see in this kind of still space in your mind, the three of you standing side by side. And from each of you are golden strings that seem to be coming from you and stretching out towards something. And if you start following that, you kind of grab onto this golden string that's coming from you and pulling on it until you can kind of see where it's leading. And you keep going. And you reach what almost looks like a ley line of sorts. And it's like a deep cavern of what you can feel to be this kind of supernatural thread that ties the three of you together. And you see those other strings going towards the people behind you that you left. But when you reach this ley line, you see dozens of other strings heading in various directions. Completely, they feel so distant. They don't feel close, but there's other people that have connections to this. So while it isn't just the three of you geographically, the three of you are the ones that have this connection. But you do notice one more. There is one string that looks like it's close. That looks like it is directing right back to where the other two are. And you follow that string. You already know where the other two lead. And you follow that one. And as you get closer, you see a familiar figure. You see V. Wells. Somebody who in town, you know, owns a shop, a psychic shop of sorts. They have been known to do tarot readings and palm readings and other kind of occult and psychic type things. And you see that connection to that supernatural ley line. And then you kind of come back.
As I come back, my eyes had gone like really hard and cold, and they go back to kind of their warm brown. And still staring directly at Kimmy, I say, "Don't throw up in my car."
I'm sorry.
And I remove my hand.
Yeah, Kimmy, you definitely puked a little. Lewis,
I'm just sitting there with puke in my hands. Like,
you
will
caught
someone
most of it.
open
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
Becca, will you open my car door, please?
I reach across and I open it.
I very carefully turn around and climb out of the car and walk to, like, the grass partition between, like, the Jack in the Box and the business next to it, and I just on the ground.
I also get out of the car and I pull the seat up so that Kimmy can get out of the car.
She, like, shakily gets out with you and does not make eye contact with you.
Okay. Need some water, definitely.
Yeah, you go. There's a bathroom, public bathroom in Jack in the Box. You go wash your hands, but then you can come back, and the three of you are standing outside of Becca's Porsche.
Crack a window. We don't want to leave the baby in there too long. It's hot. It's a hot October. Hot-tober.
I cracked the window for Logan.
Kimmy. Mm-hmm. Something that you noticed as you were climbing out of the car is there was something like rolled up. It looked like a piece of paper of sorts that was kind of sticking out of one of Logan's front pockets. And you kind of noticed that as you were climbing out.
I think I'll, like, nudge to Bella. Becca. Where the hell have you been, Loca? Thank you.
Oh, where the hell you been?
That's where I went to.
To Becca, and just kind of say, like, there's a piece of paper in Logan's pocket.
Get it?
And then she'll, like, meet your eyes and be like, You want me to get it?
You're closer.
Okay.
He's just sleeping.
I can get the paper. It's fine.
I just didn't want to mess up again.
You didn't mess anything up. You're fine.
Okay. And she'll grab the paper.
Yeah, so you pull that out and you see that it is a receipt, actually. And it is folded up, and on the receipt are two things. A matchbook and a book. The title of the book is not on there. It's like abbreviated. It says like tomes of ... or something like that. And if you look to the place that it's for, it is for the psychic shop where V. Wells owns and operates their business.
Does Logan have like a bag with him?
No.
Gotcha.
I think Kimmy reads the receipt, and the name V. Wells kind of like strikes her as familiar. More so than just that they own the occult shop in town. And Kimmy will hand over the receipt, and she'll hand it to Lewis and say, this is the person that hypnotized me.
That made you a chicken.
No. And I'll like look at Becca, like nudge to Becca.
A very gorgeous hen, really.
Oh, just read it.
Okay. I read it. All that.
Yeah, you get all the
Okay.
info.
Good place to start. We like that.
I think they're more connected to this anyway, so we should probably talk to them.
Yeah, so, but, before that, like, obviously, like, hey, this is a cool little gang we got going, eh?
I think we were brought together by circumstance. I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, like, I didn't, like, it's cool. Like, I didn't say, like, we're, like, preordained. I just said it was a cool gang.
Well, maybe we are. I don't know.
But then you just said we were brought together by circumstance. I'm confused by where you're going with this. I'm just saying it's cool.
It's been
to meet other people that are a little spookier.
What are you talking about?
Okay. And I just do, like,
It's not important,
hands.
okay? It's not important you didn't see anything.
I saw,
your mouth
I
shut,
saw many things.
Lewis.
I'm not going to tell anyone, but like I said, this is going to be a candid conversation about what happened.
Becca, was that a shutdown roll, perhaps?
I think so.
All right, let's roll for it. Roll
So
cold.
I have a move
Oh.
that says you can spend a string on someone to simultaneously turn them on and shut them down. Roll once and apply all the results.
Okay.
I like the idea of it being one of them has to work and they'll both kind of work in the same way. If I do, that's kind of
Yeah.
like where her head is at, I
Yeah.
think. Okay. Okay, let's see. So this says
yeah,
roll
you get to
once and apply
choose-
all the results. Oh, I get to choose whether I use hot or cold.
Yeah, you get to
Okay.
choose whether you use hot or cold, and then I take that as we go through using whatever you roll for both shutdown and turn, and you get to pick your options for both based on what your roll is.
Sounds good. So I rolled an 8, so that's going to be a +3, so that's 11.
An 11. So we have a full success on both shut someone down and turn someone on. So let's start with the shut someone down here. So on a 10 up, you get to choose from below. They lose a string on you. This option doesn't count because he does have a string on you. So they gain a condition or you take a forward. So lose a string, gain a condition, or you take a forward.
Lose a string.
You're so mean.
So, Lewis, you're going to lose a string there. And then let's do the result of turn someone on, and then we'll kind of discuss how this happens in the moment and what it looks like. So on a 10 up, you get a string on Lewis, just automatically. So you get a Lewis string.
So I get back the one I used.
Yeah. And Lewis...
Oh, did you use one on me there?
Yeah. to use the move there. And then, Lewis, you get to choose. Give yourself to Becca, promise something you think she wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
I won't give myself to her because Kimmy likes her, and that would be
Bro code.
And I've already turned you down.
Yeah, and that wouldn't stop me. But yeah, I'll go with promise something that I think you want. And just do one of those little lips sealed, throw away the keys sort of guys.
Good.
I'm just thinking it's cool. Thought I was the only one around, so it's just cool. That's all.
So, does that mean, Becca, you're dead too?
I'm sorry, people are dead?
No. I'll elbow Lewis. No.
Why are you elbowing me? You said it.
I'm not
I just
dead.
read.
That's
Yeah, you're
great
like-
to hear.
What happened? What?
Nothing. Why are you being...
I don't think any of us are being weird. Well, okay, you two are both being very weird, actually.
Lewis,
I'm
you
being
just
very calm.
informed me that 2 of my companions in this situation are dead.
I didn't say dead at all. That was all Kimmy, okay?
Your companions?
Kimmy said dead. Kimmy elbowed me when she said the words, and now you're blaming the words on me as well, and it's not fair, okay?
I'm sorry, let me be a little bit clearer with my words. I have just been informed that 2 of the people that I am with circumstantially, or maybe preordained to be with, are dead. It took me a little off guard.
Yeah, that's fine. Just, don't blame me. I didn't do anything.
Kimmy will kind of, walk a little more up to Becca and be like, are you into dead people?
Is that a turn-on roll? Please tell me it's a turn-on roll.
Are you into dead people?
However, Kimmy has a -1 hot. So
Yo, can I pull a Kimmy string to give her a +1 or something?
You're wingmanning.
Yeah, can I wingman?
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah!
No, I'll let that
a
happen.
Kimmy string.
Spend a Kimmy
Hell
string to
yeah.
add 1 to Kimmy's roll here. Yeah.
So that mean I have 0 hot now?
It's
Zero.
a straight roll.
7.
Yo! Yes!
So that is a
could've
partial
failed.
success. Becca, this does turn you on.
Yeah. You see up close now, there's a smirk on Becca's face, and her teeth are starting to turn into points again as she once again turns feral.
There it is again.
So we have a couple things to choose here. We have the results of caged heat to choose for you. So the things that you maintain while you are feral. And then we also have the result of the turn on. So let's decide how this feral is affecting you, and then we'll decide how you react to the turn on. So while feral, choose 2 from the list below. Mostly retain your human shape, retain your human intelligence and personality mostly, or mostly retain self-control on your violent and malicious impulses.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible choices.
I think because I already started describing the form shifting, I'll choose the other 2.
Okay.
So retain intelligence and personality, retain self-control over violent and malicious impulses.
Perfect. But yeah, the 2 of you do notice those similar shifts
That's what I was talking
happening again. And so the result of the turn on here, Becca, give yourself to Kimmy, promise something you think she wants, or get embarrassed and act awkward.
Yeah, cool. I think that Becca turns around, pushes Kimmy into the Porsche and kisses her. And then pulls back and says, "We've already talked about this, Kimmy." And walks a couple steps further back.
Whew. My stars.
She's gone post-verbal.
I think there's probably a little bit of blood on your lip
blood?
from where my fang nicked you.
Oh my god.
Kimmy died again. Kimmy found dead again.
Yes, I'm dead. I'm dying.
I'm deceased.
Literally.
Showing surprising signs of life, I must say.
So
She like wobbles away.
yes, so all of those kind of fun hormonal moments are happening in the parking lot of Jack in the Box, while Logan is passed out in the backseat of your Porsche, where you just pushed Kimmy in to kiss her. And
Hell yeah.
yeah, so you're standing in this parking lot, and you hear the radio on your Porsche. Like an alert comes on, and you hear them talk about another fire. And the police chief and the fire chief are on the call. And they are talking about a fourth fire that has occurred. But as they are getting more into the, description of it, you realize that it is not the radio station that they're talking about. It is another place. There is a small mom and pop grocery store, maybe 10 or so minutes from where you currently are, that just had another fire, making it what you know to be the fifth fire, but what, as of right now, the public and apparently the police and fire chief consider it to be the fourth.
So I know we were like, let's go to this fortune teller person, but there's probably another Logan-esque person freaking out. So should we go track them down, or should we go to the fortune teller person?
I'm just having a thought that maybe it's gonna be the same person.
Well, yeah, but like in someone.
No,
Like
I meant the person that we'll find at the fortune teller place V possibly is the person.
Oh, you think that they're the ones that are doing the fire
I
stuff?
just have a feeling that they're involved.
Well, then let's go.
Okay.
Actually, does anyone want any food?
Get in the car, Lewis.
Okay, cool.
And I stand in the doorway of the front door and wait for Kimmy to walk past and get into the back seat again.
Thank you.
Adorable and awkward. I love it.
Push it back. and I get it.
Adorable.
I thought there was a joke coming there with the door, but I wasn't sure.
No, I'm not smart enough for that. So
No, it's...
you get into the Porsche and you make your way.
I am laughing at there's 4 people in this Porsche.
How?
The back seat is one of those back seats like in pickup trucks where there's like not really a seat.
Yeah.
That's so good. And so you ride the Porsche all the way to, I think it's called like Mother Mystics or something like that. And it's just like a classic Mystic store. And yeah, you make it. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of people out at right now, but there's a sign on the front door that says, "We are open, auxiliary booth at the festival." So the brick and mortar store is still open, but there is also a booth that is on campus. Yeah, do you all head in?
I guess so.
Is it not on fire? Like, is it...
It is actively
Important
not on
station.
fire.
I kind of meant I kind of meant, is this like the aftermath, like the fire department has already been here sort of vibe, or it's just completely okay?
Completely okay, untouched. Nothing has happened to this store.
Before we go into the store, it's very important that we recognize that I totally saved Becca's upholstery and she didn't once say thank you for it. Let's do this.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Neon Nightmares Haunted Campus Part 1. Huge shout out to my amazing players. Tonight we had Mariah Clawson, Kenzie Tartaglione, and Taylor Tuttle. And of course, myself, your MC. Thank you so much for making this Halloween adventure one to remember. But don't leave just yet. Things are about to get even creepier in Part 2. And guess what? It's out right now. So hit play and join us as we dive even deeper into the mystery of Whitebridge. The nightmare's just getting started. This has been a Ghostlight Media production.